Give them are we ready?
Well, trying to get this to recording.
We got to wake them up.
Recording in progress.
Hey. Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, January 7th, 2025 at 9 a.m. Let's go ahead and call court to order at this time. Proof of posting, please.
The agenda was posted on Thursday, January 2nd, 2025 at 3 p.m.
Thank you, ma'am. Has anyone requested public comment? Okay, thank you again. At this time, if we could, I'd like to stand up and have a word of prayer from Commissioner Jones, and then we'll go ahead and do the pledge of the flag to both of our flags.
Join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this day. Thank you for this great country that we live in. Just be with us in this time of reflection on the many great lives that have been lived, that we will honor them and keep them and their families in our prayers. Be with us today as we make the decisions that will affect so many here in this county. It's in your great name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please join the pledge.
If we could this morning, we have two speakers, and one of them just showed up. So good morning, Lexi. We're going to move these two up to the front of the agenda. So if we could, let's go to H1, or excuse me, go to H or L2 right quick. Tim and Brian, if you gentlemen would come up and tell us what you know, and there's probably a lot more what you don't know than what you know. Good morning.
Good morning. Which item, I'm sorry, sir?
We are regarding the Texas General Land Office and
Local hazard mitigation.
local hazard mitigation.
Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you. As you guys are aware, we've brought this toward before the court several times over the last several months. We are in the process of seeking a general land office grant for the county's hazard mitigation plan. Now, this is the normal 5-year update, and we're a little bit late on it, but however, we feel that by seeking this, these funds, we can hire a contractor that will really deliver a top-notch plan to the county, and we're really excited about getting started on that work this year. This will probably, at least in my opinion, I think be one of the most comprehensive mitigation plans this county's ever had, and we're excited to get going.
Okay. Any questions?
So we've got the grant. Yes, sir. Do we have and we're going to use the third-party vendor to do the plan for us?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good.
Okay. Any other questions? If not, we will need a motion to approve the grant.
So move.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Excellent.
You have another item you'd like to speak to?
Do we have any?
And that's a general question, because you only have you down for that.
We have a.
You want to
is
discuss
there-
the weather?
Is there, is it okay for us to discuss the weather on the
I
agenda?
don't think it's on here.
Well, I want to thank you for what y'all are doing.
Yeah,
because
seriously,
I'm on the
that
opposite
is,
side of the fence now, it's from the highway patrol, but it's nice to see what you're putting out and what you're putting out to the county, and I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Well, I mean, Tim's been given regular updates. And I appreciate that a lot, that we didn't have that in 2021. Obviously, this is not going to be that.
Yeah,
Like-
knocking on wood. Perfect. Simulated wood.
It's as good as mine.
And let me echo that as well, because the communication piece
Yeah.
is noticeably different.
Way better.
So, all right, anything else, gentlemen?
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Have a great day.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Appreciate it. This time, let's go to H1. Lexi from the Chamber is with us to discuss the program project agreement amendment with Uzin Oots. Good morning.
I don't think it's an amendment, it's a draw request.
Draw
Draw request, all right.
Draw request.
Awesome. Well, good morning. Thank you, guys. Today I'm here on behalf of Uzin for their second and final draw request for their WebMec agreement. Back in January 19th of 2021, WebMec and Uzin North America entered into an agreement for the construction and operations of their new facility over on Texas Central Parkway. Their initial payment was made in February 10th of 2021, which was $500,000 upon the closing of their land. And so since then, they've built their operation and have hired their people and are fully operational. And so today they have submitted a request for the final payment of $1.5 million, $750,000 of which would be from the county. So we have verified that they have created the 42 jobs that they had been in contract to do with an average wage of $17.50. That's what they were held to in the contract, but they actually have an average wage of $33.98. And
That's great.
yeah, their minimum wage is $19.50. So they're doing above and beyond what we had asked them to do, and we've also verified their real and personal property investments as well. So today I'm just requesting those funds be dispersed to them.
Yes, ma'am. Do we have questions or comments?
What is the term of the agreement, the length?
Let's see, I brought the agreement with me.
Said they would maintain through the term of the agreement. I was trying to remember what the term of the agreement was.
Yes.
Know quickly?
Let's see. I think we had done an amendment to the agreement because the
Construction.
construction and all that, so, I'm sorry, I don't have that.
Well, you can get it to us. Just
Yeah.
send it to me.
I will.
That's fine.
Oh, till December 31st, 2027, so,
27.
yeah, the next 3 years.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve the payment request.
I second that.
I have a motion and a second. We have any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Lexi, thank you for making it over this morning.
Thank you, guys,
You have a great
appreciate
day.
it.
Yes, ma'am. All right, if we could, we'll go back to the top of the agenda item at this time. Item D, proclamations, resolutions. We have nothing this week for the court. Consent agenda, E3A and E6B are recommended pulls. Does anyone else have a pull they would like to suggest? If not, can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda with the exception of E3A and E6B?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Let's go ahead and continue with the consent agenda and finish this. Anna, are you on?
I am.
Good morning to you, ma'am. If you would, let's go over E3A.
Yes, sir. Good morning, everyone. I have here a request from the sheriff's office related to the step pay implementation. Step pay implementation is just about wrapped up, and it's set to hit employee checks this Friday. So excited, a lot of hard work from sheriff's office and auditor's office for that. Throughout that implementation, we had one single outlier who kind of didn't fit policy very well. The policy worked for 99.9% of all sheriff's office employees, and we had one policy outlier, and so that's what this agenda item is for. It's a request for a policy exception to place an employee, Tim Davenport. He caps in the captain step structure and is in step 1, but to account for sergeant pay, the request, his time as sergeant was many years. The request is to place him at a step 2, that's $99,022. And then moving forward, this kind of outlying situation won't occur anymore.
So your request this morning is just to allow an exception to the policy for captain?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Placing him at step 2 of his captain rank for pay.
Okay. Questions, comments?
I would just comment, I read the rationale behind it and also was explained the rationale, and it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do.
Well, it's quite, honestly, Anna, it's quite good that we only have one.
That's amazing. That's right.
And he's a pretty even keel guy, so we don't have to worry about that right now, right?
Right.
Any other questions or comments?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, if we could, Anna, let's go ahead and go to E6B.
That would be.
That's for
Francis.
Francis.
We
Yeah.
actually, we need to defer this one again, one more time.
Okay.
Motion to defer.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. If we could, let's move at this time to item, where are we at?
We got through all our E's, didn't we?
Got it all done there. F, we have nothing for court this week under F. Under G, contracts and local agreements and memorandums of understanding, purchase, lease, or acquisition of goods, equipment, or services, including financing thereof. G1, John Carter, are you with us?
Yes.
All right, sir, if you would cover G1, please.
So this is just our yearly support agreement for the scanner over in archives. It's $3,019.17. The contract runs from January 30th to January 29th of 26, and this is included in the budget.
Okay, questions or comments for John? If not, I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. G2, Heather,
Yes, sir. Good morning and Happy New Year.
good morning to
New
you.
Year.
What we have here is a request to renew our advertisement in the Hot Hogs 211 Resource Guide. We're going to use the same advertisement that we've used each year, except for this year, the price went up just a tad to $910.80, but we do have it in our budget.
That would be an increase of what from last year?
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have that number
No,
in
it's
front of me.
okay. I just was curious if we keep an eye on these increases. I know it's not much,
Well,
but
and you know, it's not increased in several years. I thought I had, it was $880, so it went from $880 to $910.
okay, all right.
Mhm.
Questions or comments for Heather? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve the agreement with Hot Cog.
Second that.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item G3, John Carter.
Yeah, so this is just removing one of the modules from Tyler Munis. It's work orders, fleet and utilities, fleet and facilities, excuse me. And this was because we implemented OpenGov last year. And so this is just correcting and taking off that module. It'll be as of December 7th, 2024. And this was included or accounted for in the FY25 budget.
Okay.
So we never budgeted for this module, is that correct? It was
Correct.
never-
We knew that we would be removing it.
Okay, and did we achieve any savings by removing it?
Yes. I don't have that actual number for you, but it was included when we submitted the budget of how much we would save by removing this module. I can get that information to you, Commissioner Jones.
Yeah, just shoot me an email, that'd be great.
Okay.
All right, will do.
Any other questions or comments? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve the amendment with Tyler Technologies.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Move to item G at this time, G4, David Ives and Ken Bass.
I don't see David on here, so this is a service agreement with Laerdal Medical Corporation, and it looks like it's for a resuscitation training program. It looks like the total amount of the contract is $39,900. And again, it's just improving their resuscitation skills.
We have questions or comments for Ken?
Ken, you may not be able to answer, but maybe they can get the information to me. I see where we're going to pay for this with our commissary proceeds for the 2-year period.
Yes, sir.
If we continue after 2 years, will it continue to be paid for out of commissary, or is that a question for?
I think Cody's ready to,
Okay, I'm sorry.
okay.
David's testifying in federal court this morning.
good for
And so Katie should be on, but any of these questions, if you want to defer, happy to defer.
Well, I don't necessarily need to defer because it's for the 2-year period. I was just curious, after 2 years, if we continue with the training, will they continue using the commissary? So that's a question David can answer
Yeah,
and
we'll
send
have to
back to me.
get back to you on that. I don't want to speculate the answer.
Amen to that. I understand. Not a problem. Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll move to H on our agenda at this time. Let's go to, we've already taken care of that. Let's move down to I1. I1. Call on Francis and Ken for this item.
And so this is Brinkley Sargent, their invoice number 26 for their services related to the downtown renovation project. And so it has been reviewed and is recommended for approval.
Questions or comments?
I would just say that looking at the percentages of completion are moving up, and that's a positive thing on the different areas, all the different services. So my motion would be to approve the invoice with Brinkley Sargent Wigginton Architects in the amount of $77,933.40.
A second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? And I will say, I've noticed they're starting to use the back lot now.
Yes.
That's great. So,
Starting to get some stuff down.
all right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll move down to J at this time. J1 is regarding the FY24 budget. Nothing in court this week. J2 is regarding the FY25 budget. Francis?
Yeah, so we'll cover the budget amendments for our current year, FY25, starting with J2A1. J2A1 is in Fund 421, which is our 2021 bond proceeds, and this is to increase the line item for professional services related to the downtown jail conversion project, specifically with Lingerman Engineering. And this was an agreement that you approved on the last agenda. J2A2 is also in Fund 421, 2021 bond proceeds. This is to increase the line item for South Old Bruceville Road, and it is related to the construction agreement you approved with JH Contracting. And then J2A3, this is also in Fund 421, and this is to increase the line items for Tonk Creek Road and North Crooked Creek Road bridges. And those are both for work that will be done by CP&Y during the construction phase of those projects. Again, you approved those agreements on the last agenda. J2B, the Assistant Sheriff, specifically Jack Harwell Detention Center. This is something that was budgeted. We're just moving it to a different line for accounting purposes. And so this is related to some software. It's the timekeeping systems quote you'll see or invoice you see attached, but we are just moving it from the repair and maintenance line into the software licensing line. And then J2C, this is general fund. This is related to the AV project you approved on the last agenda for the West Tax Substation. And so IT had the funding in their furniture and equipment line in their department, and we are just moving it into the West Tax Substation department. And then J2D, this is general fund maintenance of buildings. This is a request of an amount that we would like to move from contingencies into that department. You had budgeted for this in the prior fiscal year. We had done a budget amendment, and we didn't get the invoice in time for it to hit 2024. And so that will now hit 2025, and so we were requesting to increase that line item in this current year to accommodate that invoice.
Okay.
Any questions?
Questions or comments? If not, I need a motion to approve J2A through J2D.
So move.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item L for grants and grant proposals, L1A regarding professional service agreement with BKD LLP, Forvis Mazars, Mazurs, and authorization of grant management services invoice through November 2024, invoice number 2332368. Francis.
And I can cover A, B, and C if you like together.
Yes, ma'am, let's
Okay.
do that.
So L1A, just like you mentioned, is the November invoice from BKD for services related to grant management. That totals $5,336.33. And it has been reviewed and recommended for payment. L1B, that is a draw request from the city of Riesel. It's related to their subrecipient agreement through ARPA funding. The request totals $19,089, and again, it has been reviewed and audited and is recommended for payment. And then L1C, this is the latest invoice from LAN, Lockwood Andrews and Newman, related to, again, grant-related projects. It totals $12,631.03, and again, it has been reviewed and it is recommended for payment as well.
Questions or comments for Francis?
Francis, could you maybe update us sometime on the amount? And I know that this all comes out of ARPA dollars.
Correct.
But the amounts that we have paid, say, the attorneys, the BKD, and LAN, all together.
Do you want me to pull it up now, or do you want me to just bring that?
Could you do
the
it
next?
that quickly?
Yeah,
Or
we can get it.
I don't want to slow thing down.
One sec.
Anything down. We're in a real, we're not. I think it'd just be good information to know.
Yeah, of course.
You know, I think for the
Appreciate
public,
the
for the
question.
public to know, anyway. And I will say that, like, every one of these, and I haven't had much interaction per se with individuals or anything like that, but it seems like they've done an outstanding job, all of the.
I'd agree, and absorbing that $50 million federal grant so much
And so
that
quickly,
we were
too.
not, that we're not staffed for in any
No.
office, and so, yes,
Yeah.
these,
I would even say, if we could keep it like a running total, when this information comes to us each
Sure.
court meeting, just a
we can have that
total
added into
spent,
the
total, yeah,
notes.
just add it to the bottom, that'd be great to have.
So to give you an update, and these are invoices that have been processed, so of course wouldn't include this today, but
Right.
Lockwood, Andrews, and Newman, and this is specifically for ARPA, $158,212. BKD, our grant consultant, $175,200. And then the legal counsel line item that we have specifically for ARPA is $44,828.
Great.
And like you mentioned, when we have those invoices, we'll make sure that's added into the notes, how much we've spent to date, so you'll have that number there.
That's good. Any other questions or comments? If not, I need a motion to approve J1A through L1A through L1C.
So move.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll move to item M on the agenda now. Department Office Specific Request, Presentation or Items for Discussion and Possible Action. M1, Ken Bass.
Recently, we've been upgrading quite a number of cell phones with the Sheriff's Department, and we've had to include IT on making the transfers from an older phone to a newer phone. Been quite helpful, but in this process, we came upon a situation where when we were taking out old cell phones, we were thought we were wiping all the information off the cell phone before we would get rid of them, and we were just putting them on auction. But we found out that necessarily all the information might not be cleared off of those cell phones. We think a safer, a better way maybe to do this, we are not paying anything for the cell phones when we get them. We generally get cell phones at no charge. We're just paying for the service. but we feel like maybe a better path on cell phones that we're taking back that could have residual information, that we destroy them. And so I'm coming to the court, making that request. It is county property, and generally, you know, there's processes that we need to go through for county property. But I think this is something that we maybe get a court decision on. I would recommend that we have them destroyed.
I think there's a precedence that's been set at the national level, so I don't see any issues.
Okay.
And legal's all right with this?
Well, I didn't ask legal. This basically can fall under your purview.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think if there is any chance of any data from our SO being compromised,
Yeah.
it's destruction, whatever.
Worst case scenario, yeah.
Yeah.
I got a hammer.
That'll work.
We'll just move it.
Well,
from
one
precinct to
suggestion is we're going to put them in, when they're have any residual stuff they're blowing up, we're going to blow up the phones. But I don't want to make that a requirement. We just want to have them destroyed.
Sure. Any other questions or comments? If not, I need a motion to approve M1.
Motion to approve.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Let's move to M2 at this time. County Sheriff, H2A is authorization of cell phone request. Ken Bass.
Yes, from the sheriff's office, we received a request for 2 additional cell phones. Again, as traditional, we don't pay anything for the cell phones, but we pay $39.99 for the service, basically. And but then an additional charge would be a protective cover, and we respectfully submit this request for the court's consideration.
Questions or comments? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve cell phone request?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. M2B is authorization of request for purchase of duty weapon upon retirement of a peace officer. Ken?
Yes, we have additional requests from the sheriff's department. Adrian Burnett is going to retire, and he's requested his service weapon. He has a Glock 17, 9mm, and we're allowed to sell his duty weapon to him for a fair market value, and that's been determined to be $325. And we can do this under Government Code Section 614.051. We respectfully submit this for your consideration.
Okay. Questions or comments?
And Ken, I haven't seen one of these in a while. Have you updated that amount, or are you?
It's remained fairly constant. I check on this periodically
Okay,
just to
great.
see where we're at.
Awesome.
Any other questions or comments?
Chief Deputy, how long was he here with us?
Wow.
Close to 8.
Okay, so he was here with the county for that.
Yeah,
long.
he was in the
In the court.
constable's office for quite some time.
Constable 1, yeah.
I sure wish we could do something besides $325 for somebody that's.
And that was just he has to pay us $325.
Right, and
I know,
it's
but why does he have to pay us?
government code.
Government.
Yeah.
we
Oh, the
have-
government
it's-
code, okay.
Yeah.
Ken, it says a fair
Fair market.
Fair market
value.
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 So.
Okay.
So, yeah. You
And I
think-
just was wanting to make sure we were covering our,
No, I understand that,
covering
yeah.
our bases.
And I'll share, we
We
try
just
to
wanted
do
to see you
that
walk
on
up
the,
here again, Cody.
Thank
you know, fair market value, kind of where that fits, kind of on maybe the lower side of the scale, so.
Good.
Well, I think it's the right thing to do to sell it. I think when we sell surplus, or what we want to call it, that we have to take into consideration the years of service or whatever, but also we have to consider all of our taxpayers.
Sure.
Being fair to our taxpayers, because that's money back into our taxpayers' pockets.
Okay, any other questions or comments? If not, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item N1, acceptance of oath of office documents for elected and appointed officials. And this is really, I'm going to take this moment to say congratulations to everyone that started a new term today. Commissioner Wilson, you're pretty much the same. I do want to say that it's been a pleasure working with all of y'all, and I'm excited about the future, but we've got a fantastic court, and I'm so glad and happy for you guys to start anew this year. Does anybody have any questions about any of the elected officials that are listed here for the acceptance of oath of office? If not, I need a motion to approve.
I motion to approve the balance. Oh, well, I don't even want a page I'm on. So. Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Into, regarding the local provider participation fund, authorization of intergovernmental transfer of funds derived from county health care provider participation fund to provide the non-federal share of supplemental payment program. It's known as the Graduate Medical Education, authorized under the state medical plan to fund payments that are dedicated for payments to hospitals. Heather.
Yes, sir. So this is a request for an IGT for the GME 2025 first half with a due date of Tuesday, January 14th, and a settlement date of Wednesday, January 15th. And we're requesting to IGT up to the balance in the LPPF on the day of transfer. Current balance in the LPPF is $3,375,590.80.
Balance in the LPPF, the account on the day of the IGT.
I actually COND that.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is authorization of county appointee to Emergency Preparedness Advisory Committee, otherwise known as EPAC. This is authorization to reappoint Danny Garrett to EPAC. His appointment expired on 12/31/24. Hot Cog feels he is an active and valuable member. If reappointed, he will serve a 2-year term. Questions or comments? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item N4 is the, regarding the order declaring certain property as surplus and authorization to sale of surplus property being at a 1994 Bomag to the city of Mart. I have been told we have a request to defer this just until Judge Felton gets back. And also, Commissioner Wilson, we have done this in the past too, and I think what we're wanting to look at is see kind of what is an average value when we do. It's obviously nowhere near full value, but,
Well, it's a 30-year-old machine, and it's worth weight and metal to Lipschitz right now for us. They're gonna have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to even get it to work, if it works. So that's where I'm coming from on
are you
that.
gentlemen okay with a deferral today, or would you like to go ahead and move forward?
I think at some point in time, we need to look at some kind of across-the-board decision on how we handle surplus property going out to different cities or nonprofits, just so we're fair to everyone concerned. I'm certainly not saying I'm not saying this is not fair, especially given the fact they're going to evidently have to spend a lot of money.
Yes, sir.
But when we're doing one for $1,000 and one for $1 and one for $10 and one for $250, there needs to be some kind of, so we don't make somebody mad.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and think the word you're looking for is policy.
Sure.
Or something that we can all live with
Right.
in agreement. That's where I'm coming
Ken, your
from.
comments?
We can certainly look at that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense, Ken?
Yes,
He
sir.
does, and we have a piece of equipment, and it was still workable, but it was old and worn out, but we did, City McGregor wanted it, I think we sold it for 500, so.
Yeah.
We'll look into that, but I totally agree, a policy should be put in place on giving us some kind of guidelines and parameters on this.
Would make it a lot easier on all of us, I think, if we had something in place.
So, need a motion to defer.
Well, that's up, I think, Commissioner, are you comfortable with that, Commissioner?
Well, yeah, but
Cover this.
they're taxpayers in Mart too, and their roads are horrible, and if they can get this machine to roll a little bit, I understand, but it's just sitting in my yard, being an eyesore right now. And, I understand it, but, I wish we'd get it out of our yard. If we need to go back to 2,500, we can. The city of Mart okayed for 2,500. I just think that's,
Excessive.
I think that's very excessive, for this kind of machine. That, to me, if it was gonna go to Lipsitz to get, metal weight, which is probably about $250, $300 at the most, and then I gotta haul it on a trailer with my crewmen, you know, and load it, so,
That might be the start of the policy right there. What can we get for scrap value
Mm-hmm.
versus?
Yeah. Everybody, Commissioner wants to, if he wants to go ahead.
It's
Yeah, I'm,
really up to you.
I'm not, we're not stuck on a deferral. We just.
Yeah, we're not stuck on it, so you go ahead. Make,
I motion we approve the order to sell the, Bomag, 1994 Bomag to Mart.
Second.
For $1.
we have to rescind, we have to have one to rescind and one to sell.
No, I
Well,
don't
there
think there was
never
ever a
no
deferral.
rescission needed. We never had a
There's
motion to
no,
begin
there was
with.
no motion to defer.
I requested one, but nobody made the motion.
Okay, I see what you're
So
saying.
we have a motion and a
Well,
second.
but we have to rescind the first order.
Yeah, because that was an agreement with them originally. We had to rescind that first.
Well, there was
order.
Yes.
It's not on here. Oh, there it is. There it is. Never mind.
Yeah, it's
I
on
didn't
there.
read it correctly.
Yeah, it's on,
Well, it can be done.
both together, yeah.
Okay,
Motion
so,
I make a motion, we rescind the previously approved order, and then I make a motion to approve the order.
second on, both motions.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And then we'll look at a policy, Ken, right? That would make more sense, right?
Yes, sir,
Okay, I
absolutely.
got you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. We have any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I think something good will come out of that, because we will get
Yeah, I
some
think-
kind of continuity
yeah.
going
Yes,
forward, so appreciate that.
Thank y'all.
And it gets the piece, and it takes care of this.
Out of here.
And it's a olive branch to the community.
Exactly.
Thank you.
We'll move to NB at this time. Approval of revised order declaring certain property as surplus and authorizing the sale of said surplus property to the city of Mart. We've just approved that. We'll move forward. We got item M5, discussion interaction regarding the 2025 North and East Texas County Judges and Commissioners Association Annual Conference. And let's see, the association conference will be held in McLennan County, 7/21/25 through 7/24/25, 5/2/23. The court approved sponsoring the host court night for the conference. There will be a meeting on 1/30/25 at the chamber to discuss the conference. Item is on the agenda for the court to designate or determine who the points of contact will be for conference arrangements for any other discussions pertaining to the conference. Discussion. Does anybody have recommendations?
Just however it went in the past was fine with me. I mean, I think it went fine, didn't it?
Seemed like.
I think it went great.
I think Suzanne, they've been contacting Suzanne about
Yeah.
coming to the meeting and possibly the judge or whoever else. And I think Suzanne was looking for some direction from the court to see if she was going to be, the point of contact for it, or who all you wanted to have as the point of contact.
I think Suzanne has done a wonderful job
I think she's
spearheading that,
great.
but there's also been participation from the other executive assistants. So
just-
I would think
just-
that,
I wouldn't want to step on Commissioner's toes and recommend his executive assistant without his approval, but I think.
She's fine. She's for it.
Then my motion is to name Suzanne Nimmer as a point
Second.
of contact.
That's a second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, but it doesn't matter. Cody also too, so.
Yeah. And
And,
I know all the executive assistants. have-
yeah, I mean, like, at some point, everybody's
Team
involved.
effort. And, so I appreciate the point of contact, but it isn't our first one, right? We've
Yeah,
done it before,
exactly. We've
so,
done it, yeah.
All right,
It went
all in
well.
favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll move down at this time to Americans with Disabilities Compliance Project. We have nothing. We have nothing on P, nothing on Q. Is there anything else that needs to come before the court? Mercedes, have we hit everything?
Correct, yeah,
All right, if nothing else comes before the court, stand adjourned.
Almost directed.
Recording stopped.
That close. Wasn't Maxwell smart? Yes, I was that close.